Whenever I would get really upset at or with my past peers, I would look on the internet and see if they had died. The majority of the time, they had died. Although most of them were still living, I found it interesting how the internet holds a spot for all of us. The only debunking I found was one friend's obituary was his grandfather's same name. I even found one for myself, but I had a different last name, same first name, and there was even a few pictures of me when I was younger. Try this theory out yourself to see if it works. Try one of your friends or acquaintances or even yourself like me. At one point, I felt like I was dead or living in an afterlife because all of my so-called friends were matched as dead on the internet. Thanks for reading. P.S. I died from gun violence. I work maintenance during the day and security at night for the same place. I have keys to the building and I work alone during the nights. So I was just doing my lock check. I locked a door that was left unlocked and I turned around and dropped my keys. When I looked down to pick them up, they were gone. Just gone. Not there. I heard them hit the ground and clink on the cement. I was under a lighted portion of the building as well, so there's no way I would have misplaced them. So after looking for them for a few minutes, I decided to go to our maintenance office that has a coded keypad to get in. I punched the numbers and went to grab our spare set of keys in the meantime until I can find mine. When I went inside, right on top of my desk were my keys. Not the spare set, my set that I just used and dropped. I cannot explain this, and I am baffled and slightly uneasy. I know I am alone on the property, and the keypad code is well guarded. What the hell is going on? Hey y'all, I'm back with another apartment story. This story will be from my neighbor and my mom's point of view. So some background information. I used to live in my apartment for 18 years, in the same second floor apartment, so obviously over the years we've had different neighbors moving in and out. But one neighbor that was kinda new was our downstairs neighbors, and it was a lady named Sandra and her family. So the encounter happened during the day. I was in school at the time, and since my mom was pregnant, she and my little sister, who was around 2 at the time, had gone to the hospital appointment. So from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m., during that time, no one was home. My neighbor could hear someone running back and forth, and if you've ever lived in an apartment, you know how annoying it is. She got irritated and decided to confront my mom about the running. Once upstairs, she got a good first few knocks, and all she could hear from the inside of the apartment is, "I'm coming," but it sounded as if my mom was saying it. So she waited, but no one opened the door. Then she proceeded to give a few more knocks. The second time, and all she could hear was, "I'm coming." She waited again, but no one opened the door. And then the third set of knocks, she felt someone tap her shoulder, and as soon as this happened, she felt all the hairs on her back stand up. She proceeded to turn around, but no one was there. As soon as she realized no one was there, she ran downstairs. Later on in the week, she told my mom about what happened, and my mom reassured her that no one was home at that time. After last year, a different downstairs neighbor had also told us how he could hear walking upstairs at 3 a.m. and since my neighbor suffers from insomnia, he would be awake around that time. Anyways, he found it odd since it was literally 3 a.m. on a weekday. Our neighbor told my mom about this incident, but she reassured him we were all asleep. Side note, my apartments were old, so that's why it was so easy to hear people walking around. I am a web developer with good skills in sketch art and painting, so in 2019, I moved to an apartment in Porto, Portugal, where I lived alone. One afternoon, I was watching some random videos on YouTube, and in one video, There was a woman who claimed that she can talk to the dead and can teach her audience how to do it. I was bored, so I said, let's try it. What could happen? When I did what she said, suddenly I felt this strange energy going through me, but I didn't think much about it at the time. I went to sleep that night and I dreamed of a cat. I was in my old room and the cat climbed on my bed and started to attack me, and I fought back, but the cat suddenly disappeared, and all the electrical devices in my room, computer, TV, lights, clock, were turning on and off automatically. I panicked and looked at the digital wall clock, and it said 3 a.m. And right next to the clock on the left side, there was something written in black, kind of a weird symbol. I woke up, all in a cold sweat, and looked at the time, and it showed 3 a.m. exactly. The next day in the evening, I was thinking about last night's dream, and I remember the symbol, which was right next to the clock, and I was able to draw it, thanks to my art skills. The symbol in my dream, I was trying to figure out what this symbol means. Then I took out my phone and scanned my drawing on the Google Lens app. It started showing search results related to that. For the search results, I came to know that the symbol, which was near the clock in my dreams, was a word from the language Hindi, a language from India. The word that was pronounced as Pishach is a demon in Indian mythology, and I have never heard anything about Pishach before this incident, and I very minimally knowledge about the India and its culture. From the internet, I came to know that these demons, Pishach, are believed to feed on the flesh of the dead, usually inhabiting graveyards and places associated with death and dirt. It can possess minds, instantly driving the victims to insanity. I had terrible nightmares for a month, and I was afraid of sleeping. My health started deteriorating as I was not able to get enough sleep. I wasn't able to focus on my job as well, and sometimes I used to feel a weird negative energy around me randomly, like, is someone else with me? I didn't used to believe in ghosts and spirits, but this incident changed my perception about all of this. A friend of mine who follows Christianity gave me a holy cross. Since then, I sleep with that next to my bed, even though I am atheist. And I have never had a nightmare since then, but I am still afraid of sleep and the dark. My grandfather died, and 1 month later this happened. One night I got up because I had to go to the toilet. When I was walking back to my bed, I was sure I saw a shadow sitting on our kitchen chair. I turned on the light to see what it was, but there was nothing. When I turned the light off, it was gone. A week later, I got up at night again to go to the toilet. On my way back, just before bed, I had the feeling something is standing in front of me, and I got scared, and it disappeared. It has a human silhouette. This happened 6 months ago. Since that, nothing happens anymore. I currently live alone, just moved out. It's been fine since it's been a couple months, but nowadays suddenly, the switch for the refrigerator, the washing machine, the TV turns off. Not when I'm present. I never see it happening. Like I'm watching TV late at night and doze off while I'm watching it. The TV turns off itself, with the switch turned off as well. Not only this, I can hear some weird noises at night, like it's trying to come towards me. And I have been having terrible nightmares, where I see my family dying. I am terrified. Moving to a different place and currently staying at my mom's place. Am I doing something wrong? I was young, around 9 to 10 years old, living in a 4-room house. 3 of the rooms were your normal bedrooms, but the 4th room was a storage room, usually used for random stuff. But it was where my drum kit was as well. Now this room was always cold, no matter how hot the heating was. It was freezing, and I remember one night around 2 to 3 a.m., I was playing the PS3 Everyone in my house was asleep, and it was just me, awake. I heard a noise, so I stopped my game and listened, and all I could hear was the cymbals of the drum kit going off, and it kept going and going. And I shut off my PS3 and called my dad. He went and checked, but there was nothing. But the creepy thing was, the cymbals were just shaking away, never went in that room again.